Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about you must have a portal open or accessible to receive certain energies and to receive certain enlightenment in different frequencies. What brought me to this subject today was kind of diving in on my subject yesterday I was talking about, and as I was replaying it, I realized that would be something that I feel like we all kind of know, but we all don't have the same perception of it. So kind of like what they teach us when we're little. Hey, when you get older, you're going to have to get a build job. A build job is the portal. So with the build job, you have your portal. Your portal being open, now you have access to have money flowing to you. That portal had to be open. You can live a life and not have those portals open, but what happens is we don't live by luck, right? So what happens is if you don't have those portals open and you just kind of live in life, they'll just kind of have random, it won't be random, but it'll be more spread out and sporadic when, like, let's say if you do get some extra finances that came through to you, or you do get like a new vehicle or some new energy or something, it's gonna have to work a little bit harder because that portal is not accessible. And that's why they always say, like, for entrepreneurs or people who looking to create generational wealth, just have a better future for them or for the younger generation. It's like they open up as many avenues as they possibly can. So what we like to call it in the 3D realm is passive income. We call it passive income. Entrepreneurs, when they're out maneuvering, doing anything, I don't want to dive too technical into that. But they're also having avenues open, which creates passive income. We call it passive. But really, it's just, in the physical world, it looks like you're creating passive income. But in the spiritual realm, you're literally just opening all these different portals. It's like you're standing in one spot in a room full of doors, like how they do it on movies. It's a room full of doors, up here, down there, around you. These are all portal doors. We already know hallways, doorways are portals. That's why the room changes from living room to bedroom, from bathroom to kitchen, or however you have it set up. You know what I'm saying? But you in front of all these doors are portals. So as an entrepreneur or people who invest out and maneuver differently, they're opening all these doors. So while they're standing here, now they have more of their doors open. Let's say they had 100 doors. In the spiritual realm, 100 doors in front of them, beside them, behind them, all around them. So they went through and said, all right, I want to start opening these 10 doors right here. Boom, 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 boom. They went around, opened these 10 doors spiritually. So now if they wake up and they have extra finances or something, it's because they opened the portal for that shit to come through. Now if they're having like different energies that they would like to be around or embrace, they've opened the portal for that. And not only when you want higher frequency energies, you have to hit the higher doors. You're not going to be able to hit the doors right here or down below. You have to hit the higher doors because you also have to raise your frequency. You see what I'm saying? I've always had like a understanding of the spiritual realm, like on a far beyond level than my peers, because that was just something that I naturally knew came first through my living experiences. So for me, like, I moved at 10 years old from New York to Virginia, but I moved at such a good and detrimental time in my life that I remember my timeline from there. You know what I'm saying? And then I have my timeline from here to where I'm at now. And I'm not going to break it down, but the way my timeline falls, it makes everything a lot easier for me to remember. It's kind of like in school where you would have to draw, it could have been geography class or one of them weird fucking indoctrination classes, right? So you had to draw a line and you had to, on the front of it, you had to put your date of birth, and on the end of it, you put today's date. And from there, each time down, you can go, say I'm 85, right? So let's say I put 85 at the front of mine. The next marker would be 90, then the next marker I would do 95. I could do it in 5 increments, and then you would put what you have going on each side, right? That goes hand in hand spiritually with just being able to be self-aware and to be able to do daily self-evaluations, you know. And I also realized, like, with opening these portals, why we need the vehicles for transportation. If we didn't have the cars for transportation, we didn't have the Matrix, we would have other means to transportate around, you know, whether it was by horse or another, you know, spiritual animal that allowed us to use their vessel. But we would have different means. But right now, for me, when I was in a space to re-get another car again, now me re-getting another car again, that opened the portal for me to venture out into different places in outer space. My thoughts, everything in here is my inner space. Everything out here is my outer space. So that's why they always say it's important to, like, do certain things and to change your routines and to create, you know, a different magnetic energy field, you know what I'm saying? Because we are magnetic electrical beings, you know. That's why we're able to shock each other. That was never really explained to us either as we was young growing up, you know. My daughter goes down a slide, and then every time I touch her, she gets shocked. But I'm able to have a few more answers for her, you know, for her generation than was given to me in my generation. But these portals are serious. These portals are real. And I didn't really realize, like, how in-depth the concept was until I came across the knowledge and was able to compare it with my experiences, which gives you your wisdom. You know, you have to be able to experience life, but you also have to understand what's going on. That's why for a lot of us, we only go to the same stores. We got the same stores that we go to. We got the same people. Like, if we have to do a transactional engagement that we deal with, like the same restaurants, if we choose to go to the same locations we choose to go to in our areas, because we like the energy once we go through that portal or in that field that it's in. I got the same corner store beside my house I go to. It's one that's a little bit closer, but I like the vibes at the one that I go to. This one I go to is more Arabs. They run the store. The other store that's a little bit closer is University. It's more Asian, white, and uppity, entitled motherfuckers there. The energy in that store just feels really uppity because UVA brings a certain kind of energy here. When people start coming in through this portal in this town that I'm in, it brings a certain kind of energy. So most motherfuckers already not gonna come to this area if they don't have that certain kind of energy anyways, unless they like forced or by family or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like how some of us got here. But I like when I go through the other portal with the Arabs. That energy in they field is more friendlier, it's more generous, it's more vibrant. You know, it has a lot more fulfilling aspects spiritually than it does to me rushing into some robotic ass UVA corner store where, you know, just even your regular high engagements is robotic and it doesn't feel comforting. You know, I could rock into my Arab store and they know me and my daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I've been spending my whole life going there, but within the past, I would say 3 years, that's kind of been my store. You know, he know me by my name and he calls my daughter by her name. You know, it's just a friendlier environment when I go through that portal. But I say that to say, like, you have to open these portals to access different things. The last video that had me talking about it was dealing with spouses of opposite sex or females who was dealing with the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? You got to open portals in order to access new energy. You cannot say like, oh, well, all I deal with is hood bitches. None of my females, they run, they jog, they don't eat healthier food or try to. They don't try to do things differently. Even though it's extremely difficult, you have to put forth the effort, at least trying. Some guys never even been with a female who likes to exercise because they never raised their frequency to even have access to that kind of portal to where those kind of females would be at. Even if they witchy females, you would still be able to access the ones that do work out, but you have to open that portal. It's no difference than females who want to access men who are more spiritually connected. You don't, in order to do that, clearly you would have to stop being materialistic. Simple process. You would have to actually get to know and vibe with a motherfucker, which is a lot more easier for me than doing all this other fucking half-ass fake shit that we have to do out here, because the Matrix say, hey, that's too mean. Hey, you shouldn't say that. Hey, you shouldn't do this. But as we continue to go through this process, I continue to grow. Still to this day, it's like, as I made that example about people in those fields and things like that, once I got out of high school, I wasn't accessing people who was out doing more healthier things or trying to or do things on a different frequency, because I hadn't opened those portals yet. I had to open those portals because I had to go through and take the steps to open the damn door myself. The door could have been right beside me, the door could have been further up, but I had to take those steps to open up that door, you know what I'm saying? And once I did open in at the door, I was able to experience more of those things that I was discussing and saying. You know, you don't have to have all the money in the world to live comfortably. You know what I'm saying? The way the system is set up, if you are comfortable within yourself, all you need is enough to pay the bills, and then you can live life with the rest. You can live life with the rest. You know what I'm saying? And that's for the ones that's not plan on going any further up, but they just want to be at peace where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. We got warriors out here to fight the battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I start talking about this or think about this shit, I think of it like X-Men. Like, everybody, it's a handful of people that are on the same team with different abilities. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't look at, you know, what is it, Professor X in the wheelchair and try to put him up there with Wolverine. Yes, one can read mind and one got metal in their body and they heal extremely fast, but it's like they two different abilities, you know? So I wouldn't make them battle that shit out with each other. I would try to figure out how to put these abilities together and make them work as a team, opposed from doing it the other way. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.